Hey there, Delight here. I have a sort of a special flip through for you today. This is a junk journal, big chunky monkey, very big one. This is done, I made the frame, I made the cover on this one. It's one piece of cardboard that goes this way and one piece of cardboard that goes this way, so the frame is double. It's Medori style, and I made it for a gift for my son and little daughter-in-law who is from Dallas, Texas, and so I wanted something special. They are absolutely the most wonderful host and hostesses in the world. If you get to stay at their place, they are just marvelous. They make your stay about as good as it can possibly be. And that's what this is for. It's for people who come there to write a little note and tell them how much they liked it. The fabric covering it is off of a purse I found in a Goodwill store. And little cowgirl, my sweet little daughter-in-law, did barrel racing when she was young, so I thought that was appropriate. So this is a Texas-themed junk journal, and it has all things Texas, tons and tons. I used the old bags from grocery stores and stuff that I got a couple of those and used them for pockets and for paper. It's all extremely rustic, lots of sewing, all kinds of memorabilia or ephemera that I bought especially for this, since this was a special one. Lots of grungy stuff, coffee filters, upcycled junk mail envelopes, old index card with a P. Their last name is Patterson, so I try to keep things very personal. That's a window envelope. If somebody ever want to put a picture in here, they could. If they had their picture in there, then maybe they could use this piece that is a bunch of coffee dyed papers in here to explain the things they did while they were here. The whole purpose of this is just for that, to make something really special for them, to be able to record what their guests do, places they go, put pictures in, the way our family normally uses the junk journal. Lots of cowboy things, or at least things that Grandma from Ohio thinks are cowboy things. I don't know how accurate they were, but she was nice and didn't say anything. I got a nice flip across here, which I love the flip stuff. It was other YouTube artists when I first started watching that introduced me to the joy of flip things, and I've really enjoyed embracing that in my own work. So lots of those kind of things. The usual graph papers, journal papers, all that kind of stuff. I went on the internet and got lots of pictures of things. They took me to a rodeo when I was here, so of course we had to have a rodeo thing. These are just all kinds of papers that relate another piece of junk mail. Laces and anything that was grungy. This is out of Starbucks. We had coffee because everybody takes me for coffee because I love it. So that's one of the things that we did. Another flip 8. Music paper, always. Another little embellishment that I found with a pack, probably from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, I love this. I got some digital downloads and some things from Pinterest, and then fussy cut them out so that I could make different kinds of what I thought were Texas theme tip outs, put-ins, all kinds of things. The one thing I want to see someday are the Texas blue bonnets or bluebells or whatever they are. I've seen pictures online of when they bloom, and I love blue, so I hope to someday be here when they're blooming. One of my little dictionary cards of fun. I always like to have a couple of dictionary things in. Double pocket. This one holds a lot, but I figured I'd only probably ever make them one, so I wanted to make sure. Here's the Texas flag, of course. Gotta have Texas flags, the Lone Star State. Pops of color here and there. Place for photograph. Lots of lots of ways for people to put down good things about them, because they're pretty good people and they deserve to have it. This is one of the extra little journal type things. If you've watched my work before, you know I always have a number of these in every journal I make. So if somebody wants to write something about a particular event or something more private, they got a place to do it. Here they are on their wedding day. My son John and his adorable little wife Dawn. Just two of the nicest people you would ever want to meet. And that's who I wrote this is where I wrote my thank you for the times that they've had me over here. These are what junk journals are really for. Here's the second signature. As you can see, it is the Medori. See if I can find the middle for you. I don't know where. There it is. So I don't know why anybody would want to add anything, but they might want to take things out, so they can take them out, okay? If they decide it's too chunky, they can always take one piece out and just have part of it in, and I could make them another cover for the other side if they wanted, but they haven't said anything, so we'll see. More cute Hobby Lobby ephemera. Another flip out, this time of scrapbook paper. Really good way I have found to use my cutoffs when I'm doing anything with scrapbook paper. I always save the cutoffs for all kinds of things. This is another thing that I found going back in, how you go to Pinterest and then you roam around and it takes you to a blog and that takes you to a website and off you go. A lot of these things, that's where I found them. I printed them out because I knew I'd never find them again. I'm not real good at that. I can find things, but I never can find them twice. So these are all, I pretty much stayed with the same rustic sort of Western type of theme. As you know, whenever you're doing one of these, you collect way more than you'll ever use. So I now have a nice size stash of Texas thing. If anybody ever needs a Texas book, let me know. I can make you one. These are those flowery things that I would love to see. Dawn's trying to, I guess they're not like real dependable exactly when they bloom, so it's a matter of me getting here at the right time. And I'm sure that one of these days I'll make it if I live long enough. Love the mason jars. They have some mason jars around their house that they use for storage in her kitchen. Not blue ones, but you know me, if there's no blue in it, it's not a book. A lot of these things, as I said, are things that I have, the papers and things that I found and kept and designed by putting different graphics together are things I have in my computer. So I would be able to do another Texas one, and who knows, I might decide I'm going to do some. These are little tiny flips. Book pages, always nice to use a book page. Dead cowy head things, I don't know what those are, but they're every place when you see Texas, so I figured I better put some in. The other side of these little tiny flips, these are actually little teeny weeny bags, one side on this side and the other side. I showed you before, I don't know where, over here someplace. Anyhow, you know how that goes. Manila envelope with more spaces and another little tiny journal with stars for Texas. Lots of an armadillo. Didn't know what armadillos were. Now I live in Florida and we have armadillos. First time I ever really saw them. They're so ugly, they're cute. Lots of cactusy type things. Here we don't have cactuses much in Florida, even though we have armadillos. These are just some general, another one of my little tiny book things. Graph papers, journal papers, music papers, another flag of Texas, another little journal book. It's a Lone Star, lots of things for Lone Star. Bluebell ice cream, I can totally relate to Bluebell ice cream. Coffee dyed paper, blue flowers, and more coffee. My little daughter-in-law likes coffee like I do. Her sweet husband gets up and makes it for her. He doesn't drink coffee, but he makes it for her every morning so she can get off to a flying start. They both work, of course, hard and long. A little cowgirl hat or cowboy hat. And lots, I've tried to include postcards, and these are ones I made, so that I put them in here so that if they have guests and they want to send a postcard to wherever they're from, and I made them say hello from Dallas and Lone Star State. Tried to make them pretty much adapted to what they have going on here so that their guests could send something home when they're here. And so that's the way I did it. Have a fancy 2 paper clips held together with a chain. And I found these cute little clipboards, and I thought that was really cute for little tiny notes if you wanted to, if somebody wanted to write down like the name of a restaurant they wanted to give to somebody or take home with them for something, they'd have a piece of paper they could tear off. So this is my Chunky Monkey Texas junk journal. It was definitely a labor of love. It's got felt on the inside to keep it really rustic, and lots of crocheted type lace, heavier type laces, not the fancy frilly laces like with their shabby chic stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it. I loved making it just like I love them. Enough said.